and then tomorrow you'll do a show and it'll be something completely different, the opposite. That's how this search has gone.
All right, everybody, welcome back in to another episode of the Mark Lesko podcast. On here again, hit 1,000 subs today, so we did an episode earlier, and Chris is joining us to talk the latest on the head coach search. It changes every minute. We just can't do an every minute show, so we try to do one every couple days to try to keep up with it all. But Chris, thanks again for coming back on, man. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys? You have a good Thanksgiving?
Absolutely, bud. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Chris, because of the chats, he's now in the kitchen as well. So we got two guys in the kitchen.
We got something cooking for sure.
And I'm in my usual spot. So, Chris, what's the latest, man?
Like I said, this is the craziest coach search I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen so many twists, turns, and 1 minute it's one thing, and the next day it's a different thing. So, but I listen. I've been on top of this the whole time. I'm not saying I know who it is, but yesterday I did a show. It was dropped this morning on the Big Ten Huddle, and basically what I was told is this mystery man coach has really picked up a lot of steam. It's very good chance it's going to be this mystery man, and if it wasn't him, my opinion was that from everything I gathered that it was probably going to be Bob Chesney, and that Terry Smith probably had just very little shot. Today, as we speak, I got a text from a friend, and his info's been very solid before that there is in fact a big mystery man, and he wouldn't even tell me himself. What he said? He said he gave his word to someone. He said he guessed like 10 times who it would be, and out of 10 guesses, he couldn't get it from his contact. So that's interesting. But big nugget is that Terry Smith did interview, absolutely knocked it out of the park. And if this mystery man falls through, from what I was told, it's going to be probably Terry Smith. Mystery man falls through. They want the mystery coach first. What if he falls through? It's Terry Smith. Talk to me 2 days from now, I'll have 5 different names. And then 3 days after that, there'll be 4 more different names, because this is how this thing goes. And I'm just joking around a little bit there, but that's how this thing goes. So I found it really, really interesting that Terry Smith now jumped Bob Chesney. If this is in fact true, my guy's been pretty spot on with stuff. Now, my take on this is Chesney interviewed before Terry Smith. Okay, like Chesney interviewed a while back, and because Chesney interviewed and did so well, some other guys eliminated themselves. It was pretty much, that's why Chesney jumped up the ranks, and it was mystery man, if not mystery man Chesney. But because Terry just interviewed after Chesney and he knocked it out of the park, supposedly it's a good chance it's Terry Smith now, if mystery man falls through.
So it's mystery man Terry Smith pretty well at this point. If the mystery man doesn't fall,
but all I know is a tight lip, man.
Terry Smith is the man. If the mystery man falls through,
now remember what I told you, Mark. Just remember, nothing is fact. It's just nothing's 100%. Just want to put that out there. I'm just reporting what I heard. My guy's pretty solid, but I'm not trying to say it's definitely going to be Terry Smith or anything like that. We'll see. Sorry.
100%. And anybody that thinks that what we say on here, like, we can't predict the future. So if you think that we're solidified, you're not seeing it across news channels. So if you think what we're saying is solidified, I don't know what to tell you. Chris is telling what he heard. That's it. That's it. I don't know how else to explain it to you guys, but you guys need to just calm down. So basically the order, Chris, is mystery man falls through, it's Terry, and Bob Chesney is like behind Terry now. Am I hearing that right?
Yeah, it's mystery man, if Mystery Man falls through and all the paperwork is there for the Mystery Man, apparently he hasn't signed it yet, but everything is in place. There's agreements in place. The guy just wouldn't get into, and I wouldn't divulge his information anyways, but out of respect to him. But basically, they're just, for whatever reason, he just said there's some complicated. This is kind of complicated the way this is going down. Said after it all goes down, and you know who the Mystery Man is, you'll understand why. So, but yeah, from what he was told, it was that's it.
Okay. Interesting. All right. So essentially, at that point, Bob Chesney would no longer be. Yeah. Interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. Yeah, it changes. It changes all the time. Yes, nothing is solidified ever, and I guess the outlash was the thumbnail. I had locked in, and I didn't mean, obviously it was a guarantee. I mean, yeah. So, but
I'm taking a lot of views on that particular video. I do remember seeing that.
But it's very interesting. I really don't know what to say at this point. But again, this is just another thing. Dabo, I don't know. I don't know who the Mystery Man would be. I don't know. I mean, Chris, you were on Big Ten Huddle.
Yeah.
I guess. Do you have a guess?
I can't. I don't have the foggiest. I could throw names out there, but all I would be doing is throwing names out there. Josh Pate said that if he asked Penn State fans, they wouldn't get it in 15 guesses. My guy today, basically, he said he guessed about 10 different names before his guy told him who it was, and he wasn't even close out of 10 different guesses. So I don't know, I don't know if they'd hire somebody from the NFL ranks, but it just seems like it had, if this is some big name guy, surprise coach, big name, who would really come to, who's realistic that would come to Penn State that, from the college ranks? There's people that speculate in Marcus Freeman, as crazy as that sounds, but I highly doubt it's him. But I mean, they are looking to pay a guy to be, one of the most the highest paid coaches in college football. I know they're with Mike Elko, they're looking to offer him north of 15 million, something like 15.5 million, even up to 16. So, money talks. We all know that, but I don't know who it's going to be. My guess is where, people said, Freeman. Another guess I had was Cliff Kingsbury, and I don't know if that qualifies as a big name, but the reason I guess Cliff Kingsbury is because his name was up for the job. You didn't hear much about it, but you just heard he was there as a possible candidate. Cliff Kingsbury is the offensive coordinator of the Commanders. Bobby Ingram, as you saw, Landon Tangle put a tweet out that Bobby Ingram was interviewing for the head coaching job. Well, Bobby Ingram's the wide receiver coach for the Commanders. So, maybe there's something to that. Again, I'm just putting two and two together, spitballing. I have no idea. I know early in the search, this is crazy. Again, I don't think it's anything. I'm straight up telling people at this point, I don't know. But I remember early on, as crazy as this sounds, that they actually contacted Dion. This was a month back, but they even tried to contact Dion. I don't think it'd be a fit here. I don't think it's going to be him, but this is nuts.
Well, when Shadur isn't playing football next year, he might come in as a coach or something. I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, man, as long as I last night, the one guy on here, Thomas, was saying how he thought maybe there was a bit of a rift between Terry Smith, Pat Kraft and Franklin. You know, that whole situation of power grab was split down the middle. I don't know. I talked to you. Sounds like you disagree with that, and I would agree with what you're saying 100%. But do you think that they're – because I believe Terry Smith deserves all the respect in the world. Do you think that they're treating him – do you think that they're treating him with the respect he deserves in the sense that he – like they're giving him his due diligence, if you will?
Yeah, well, they gave him a formal interview. So, yeah, I mean, they gave him a formal interview. It's supposed to be a long, like 3.5 hours, and he knocked it out of the park. I mean, there's a reason the guy now is possibly the number 2 guy if the mystery guy falls through.
Kirby Smart. So the 2 names that people said in the comments, Deion Sanders and Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, who Chris is talking to knows what he's talking about. Not the guy that was told the information, the guy that Chris was talking to. The guy that told the information was.
Yeah, I'm the one that just mentioned Deion. I'm not saying that's who it is. I'm not. Mark always asks me to guess a name, and this is what I'm saying. I am just spitballing off the top of my head. I have who it could be. Okay, you could get Yokozuna to be that next head coach, and it wouldn't surprise me. I don't know. All I know is from Josh Pate, and now my buddy basically said people want to get it in like 10 guesses. Take that for whatever it's worth.
Right. So if he was guessing, the guy knows what he's talking about. So like the guy would know names, so he would probably guess Kingsbury and Deion. He probably would have guessed that. So yeah, I don't think it would be those 2 guys. But you know what? At the end of the day, again, like. Who knows? I mean, I'm not. When it happens, it happens. That's it. There's nothing I can do about it. So, but Chris is just saying what he was told. You know, what do you think?
Did hear Chris, it drag out a little longer than we liked.
Okay.
I'm listening. I just said a buddy of mine texted me. I had to text him back.
Are you cool with Terry Smith?
Yeah, I'd be fine with Terry Smith. I made the argument for him before. Listen, Chesney, whether it's Chesney, Terry Smith, whoever this mystery guy is, I mean, I don't know. But Chesney, Terry Smith, I'd be fine with. If it is Terry Smith, I'd be perfectly okay with. Because, like I said, it is vitally important to keep this young core of talent. Guys like Chaz Coleman, Ethan Grunkemeyer, Kobe Howard, Xavier Gilliam. You got to keep these core guys together. There's a lot of young talent on this team, and you have the best shot at keeping these guys together if it is Terry Smith. And I think what Terry Smith proved, you talked about a lot. I mean, this guy in 4 games as a head coach was able to recognize basic stuff and make changes that Franklin and with all his 15 years of experience as head coach didn't, like Terry Smith held players accountable. There was no sugarcoating. There was no buddy stuff system or anything like that. I'd be perfectly fine with him. He's going to hold guys accountable. They're going to hire a GM. They're going to hire a GM separate from the coaching staff that will handle the NIL aspect. I think Terry Smith will probably bring in possibly more money than anybody. I mean, everybody loves Terry Smith from the paternal guys to the new guys. So you're gonna get more NIL donations with him. And I think the guy, even though a small sample size, I mean, he showed he's willing to make the necessary changes and adjustments that need be. But don't go nuts about Terry Smith because, again, this mystery guy is supposed to be very close and likely supposed to get the job. It's not a done deal. So, just want to put that out there. But I'd be fine with Terry Smith.
Yeah, so, the whole thing with Terry Smith, I was talking to someone today, a family member of mine at Thanksgiving, and his wife asked, she was like, "You want Terry Smith?" He said, "Absolutely not." I said, and she said, "Why?" She said, you fire Franklin just to hire his assistant as the head coach. And he's a pretty diehard fan. I mean, I don't really see it that way, but, we know Franklin's going to probably take all the credit. He'll be like, oh, yeah, I hired him. That's why I hired him because, I knew he could do this, even though he never used him when he was here. So I don't know. I mean, either way,
Terry
I think
Smith's
it's going to
not
work.
Franklin. Terry Smith's
No,
not Franklin.
Not at all.
And if anybody that with half a brain that has followed Penn State football, this year, the past few years, then saw what Terry Smith did. It took him a while to get going, and I know there was some poor clock management at times, but you could see the differences. Like you could see the change. It's what was Franklin's last game? Northwestern game?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Northwestern, Nebraska, let's just say they're around the same level. Against Northwestern, they didn't have a clue how to adjust. The kids weren't playing nowhere near as hard as what they did. Against Nebraska, same type of level. I know Nebraska's not good. Northwestern's not good. But then you had Terry Smith coaching Nebraska, and that was a different team out there. These guys were playing aggressive. They were hungry. They're backing each other up. It was just, the offensive line looked dominant. It was just the attitude of the team. These guys will run through a brick wall for Terry Smith. He is not James Franklin. I think he's smarter. I think he's gutsier. I think he's a blue collar scrapper. And I think he won't be afraid to bench a guy because of some hurting their feelings. He won't be afraid. They're going to get, I'm fine with Terry Smith. He's not James Franklin.
So someone said, does this have to do with wanting to name a new coach and GM at the same time? I don't know. I don't think.
I don't think so. That's not. I didn't hear anything about that. No.
It's PJ Fleck. Yeah, that's my guess. I just feel like Chesney, we can keep both, and with Smith, we don't get Chesney. I just feel like with Chesney, we can keep both. Yeah, we're
hired Chesney. That Smith stays on the staff as well.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't. Anything's possible, but I'm just telling you, if Terry Smith's not the head coach, yeah, obviously Pat Craft's going to do whatever he can to try to keep him on. But I don't know. I just think that's a long shot that Terry Smith would stick around after he just, got turned down the job.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jared. Chris, you can stay on if you want to.
No, I'm
do
good
whatever you
for
want.
a little bit. I'm chilling. I'm all right.
All right.
I've been sitting here for about 15 minutes trying to sneak in. I actually have a guess as to who the mystery man is.
Mm-hmm.
If this is true of what I'm about to say, Mark may actually leave the podcast himself. I'm just curious because it seems like the writing is on the wall for both places. Think back a little bit. Somebody was mentioning that a certain head coach in the NFL needed a change of scenery.
His ego's too high, man. His ego's too high. He wouldn't do that.
I don't know about that. I don't know, dude. I'm just throwing it out just for the sake of argument.
Insinuating Mike Tomlin. Is that weird?
What if the mystery man is Mike Tomlin? It would be the most ludicrous reveal in the history. Yeah. I would think, because you think this man has been in the NFL for that long, and all of a sudden he would just leave it for a Penn State job. I'm not saying that is. I
doubt it's Tomlin.
It would just be absolutely crazy if something of that nature were to happen. First
of all, Pat Kraft, that's not a bad guess, Jared. I know exactly why you're saying it. That's why I guessed it.
I don't want it to be right. I don't.
Pat Kraft's too smart to do that. Mike Tomlin's ego is way too high to take a college job. I mean, his ego is going to eventually get him fired, like Franklin. Franklin 2.0. That's who Tomlin is.
Yep.
But yeah, I just that. But like Chris said, it changes every day. So,
Chris, was that a guess? Someone, you said you put out 10 guesses and the guy didn't get it right. Did you say Tomlin at all?
He didn't tell me who he guessed. He just said I had 10.
Oh, okay.
Guesses.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Chris, I mean, I don't know.
The thing that sucks is when I said, think we'll, maybe next week, but, figure this out next week, I'm sure. And, he alluded to maybe like 9 to 10 days from now, it could drag on even into next weekend. What that's all about, I don't know, but I'm sure it's all part of the whole complication thing, whatever it is. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. The story behind it is going to be very, very interesting.
So Bob Chesney is up to 55% on betting odds right now.
What, Kalshi?
Yeah, which I don't even know what Kalshi is. But
Kalshi is about as worthless as a friggin' cockroach. Kalshi's this. I just started learning about it. It's kind of like betting, but like with stocks, like how the stock market works. I think like the more people that buy into a candidate, it goes up. The percentages go up. The less people that buy, goes down. Like it's something along that lines. But here's why you can't trust Kalshi at all. People always use Kalshi. You can't trust it. I would look why. I was reading the board. The one main UCLA insider said that their number one candidate they're going after is Bob Chesney, but they're in a holding pattern because like Chesney is waiting out for possibly to get the Penn State job, get it, see if the offer does come to him. And they said but he is their number one candidate. And the UCLA insider said if it's not Bob Chesney, he thinks it's almost definitely Sean Lewis. You go on, I was on it last night. On Kalshi, there were 12 coaches that you could select from for UCLA to be the next head coach. Bob Chesney, Sean Lewis weren't even one of the 12. So, all it is just people, the people, random fans like you and I that don't know who the next head coach is going to be for sure are the ones that just throw money out there. There could be, like Nick Saban said, you want to hear something ridiculous? Nick Saban, somebody put something out there that Nick Saban recommended Brian Daboll, or Nick Saban said Brian Daboll should be the next head coach, Penn State. And that sent Kalshi up like 20-some%. All of a sudden, Brian Daboll's up there now because Nick Saban said it. It's worthless.
Yeah, 100%, Chris. So, yeah, for those of you guys that are just now tuning in, basically it's the latest that has been heard by Chris is it's mystery man number one. They say no, then it's Terry Smith, which means it leaves Bob Chesney in third because Terry would not say no. At this point, if Terry Smith did not get the head coach job, like you said, Chris, and you don't think he would stay, then I hope to God he gets it because I don't want him leaving. But
nobody does.
That'd be heartbreaking. I mean, that would be a huge fumble on the part of Pat Kraft if Terry Smith walked.
I don't agree with that, but because Pat Kraft's going to do everything he could to keep Terry Smith. It's not like he's going to allow him, he's going to do everything he could to keep him, I'm sure. But if this mystery candidate is this big name target, well, Pat Kraft might not have a choice, but he's got to hire the best coach available. Then it's up to Terry if he's going to want to stay with that head coach, and he might feel slighted. Let's just like spitball. Okay. And I'm not saying this is the guy. I don't know. Since it's this big mystery man and all these people guess it's not him. I don't guess it's not this guy. Let's say Kalen DeBoer would accept the Penn State job. You got Pat Kraft, you got Terry Smith, Kalen DeBoer. Who would you hire? You don't think Pat Kraft's going to hire Kalen DeBoer, a proven winner, proven head coach, incredible record versus the top 10, incredible record overall? That's the one thing I will say is beginning of the search, Pat Kraft said he is swinging for the fences. He's going big game hunting, and that guy has contacted, I think, just about every coach out there big name coach, except for maybe a few that he probably, I'm sure like Brian Kelly and Dabble Swinney, guys like that. But every big name coach, this guy has been active as can be, chasing guys down. But, I'm fine with Terry Smith. But if there's a home run hire out there, like if Mike Elko wanted the job, you can't hire Terry Smith over Mike Elko. You can't do that.
Yeah, like you were saying the other night, Chris, Kalen DeBoer, Aaron sent me statistics of wins.
It's incredible.
And it's insane. Like his winning percentage is it's through the roof. So absolutely
has a great offense coordinator in Ryan Grubbs.
Yeah. So it's 100% in politics. This is kind of politics. You talk about the search, or there's politics all through.
Like politics. Yeah,
Sean
like
Lewis,
the search.
The choice can't be settled.
It's not going to be Brian Hartline.
The choice can't look like they settled. I don't think they're settling on anybody, man. They might be settling for someone who is agreeing to their terms. I think that's settling in a way. Chris, I think
I don't like people throw. Like I said, Pat Kraft went big game hunting. There is this big surprise name coach. There's supposed to be an agreement in place. Both sides agreed to the paperwork. The guy just hasn't signed yet for whatever reason. I don't know. Like that's what the mystery is of whatever has to shake out for this guy to sign. If that guy doesn't sign, it's looking like it's going to be Terry Smith. Still, but again, nothing's definite. Who knows? Could still be Bob Chesney. I'm just telling you what I was told. If it's not the mystery man, it's Terry Smith. So, I'm not sure what that guy means.
Henrik Huckleberry says Deion Sanders is the best guy in the country for the job.
I would not want him.
No.
They did contact early in the search. They even reached out to him. We're thinking about? I know early in the search there was an insider, pretty reliable guy that even said heard a really interesting name today that they reached out to. So
someone said earlier, Phenomenal Brew. He was saying earlier that he knows it's Bob Chesney. And the mystery man is just smoke and mirrors. So I don't know.
That's guessing. That's guessing. It's guessing because this is why I was skeptical about this mystery guy, because it was mentioned. Watch for a lot of smoke screens. Watch for misdirection coming from high up in the athletic department to throw people off the scent. So that's why I was skeptical of this mystery candidate that you started hearing about a few weeks ago. But I mean, from what I've seen, like I said today, what I said on the Big Ten huddle yesterday, this mystery man very much seems legit now. He is he is legit. I do not think it's a smokescreen at this point.
Right.
But, the argument for Terry Smith, look what he did in his entire reign as a head coach, just filling in. The guy lost by 1 point to Iowa, in Iowa. Now I ask you this question. With the Ohio State game, we lost 38-14. Do you think James Franklin holds that team to 38 points? Like, do you think they would have done any better if James Franklin was?
I know what you're trying to say. I think Terry started to hit his stride, like I said, a couple weeks ago, but I don't know. I mean, the point you're making about Terry being better than Franklin, I think we all agree with that. There's no question.
I just feel like the whole atmosphere in
probably would have got worse under Franklin.
And the way they played on the field, it just looks so much better. It looks so much more complete. And I understand that. That doesn't mean that the guys that Franklin had recruited and are still here for this season, all of a sudden it gets better. I understand that doesn't mean that at all. But what it comes down to is when players see how they respond to coaches, like when they see recruits watch the games and they see how these players react, they see that this guy is actually a pretty darn good candidate. Like, he actually looks like a guy that could lead you somewhere. I'm not saying the guy should be the head coach. I'm just simply saying he really has solidified that he really is a guy you want on your staff. That just seems like that has got to be the case. If he's not the head coach, he needs to be on the staff in some way, shape, or form.
Well,
I agree.
It's happened before, man. We let Larry Johnson go, pretty much. And he has won a national title. He's won 2 national titles. And he's had multiple top 10 picks from his coaching staff. So, I just don't want it to happen again.
But even with I'm sorry, delay. I guess there's delay. But even with the Larry Johnson thing, wasn't that they let him go? Bill O'Brien tried to keep him. He tried. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not letting him go. It's you're letting him go by not hiring him as head coach. But Bill O'Brien did try to keep him.
Well,
when did he leave? With Bill O'Brien. On Franklin tried to keep him. I mean,
right.
He felt slighted and he left.
Right. So they.
Well, now they're playing TV. Well, else could be.
But my point is they didn't do enough to keep him. I know he wanted to be the head coach, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. They like Larry Johnson, Terry Smith. I mean, if you are not doing enough to keep these top, like Larry Johnson, I mean, he's a top tier coach. If you aren't doing enough to keep him, then it's like, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know what more you could do, Mark. I know you want to keep these guys as like a guy like a Terry Smith, as bad as it can be. And listen, the new coach, Pat Kraft, they all know how valuable he is. You could only do so much. If the guy doesn't, if Terry Smith doesn't get the job and he's like, well, screw this, I've been at Penn State forever, put my heart and soul into this thing. They're not giving me the head shot. They're bringing some new guy in when I'm out of here. There's only so much you can do.
I'll say
we'll
yes.
see.
Of course, yes,
Maybe
I do want to
stays.
keep him.
We'll see.
Yeah, I do want to keep him, and so does the entire Penn State fan base. So here's the thing. Yes, I want to keep him. So does everyone. So do a lot of other people. And if they don't keep him, if they don't do everything they can to keep this guy, then it could go bad. That's my whole point. So I don't know. If the guy doesn't want to stay, he doesn't want to stay. But if he doesn't, then that whole chanting his name at the Nebraska game, I mean, that could turn bad. That could.
Yeah,
that could turn bad.
That the concern is losing all those core players. I'm not saying it'll be all of them, but there could be a good amount of, like, just too many core players that we lose. Now you get the new head coach in here in time, and maybe he develops some quick relationships, and we keep some of them. But we'll see. I came outside because they started to play the TV loud. I'm sure you heard it in the background. I knew they were going to be screwing around, making noise. So
don't get too cold.
I got no friends.
I
don't try to be following me out here.
I don't know, man. I mean, yeah. But if that's the current order right now, I'm okay with it. But yeah, they said they're expected to announce the head coach Tuesday, which means it's probably finalized. I mean, I think they've known who it's going to be for.
They had their guy, this Mr. Candidate. Like, listen, I told you that my buddy at the game tailgate with Matt McGloin said they got their guy. They have, and they're supposed to do the paperwork this week. They have their guy. It's just a matter of him accepting and signing. The agreement's in place. What the holdup is, I'm not sure. I asked, what's the holdup? He just said it's complicated.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to push him.
Yeah. Franklin couldn't beat a top 10 team with this preseason number 2 team, and neither could Terry. Terry isn't the guy. All right. I mean, yeah. Okay, Notre Dame is the mystery, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't know what to say. I'm a loss for words. Jared?
Listen, like you said, you guys have all the ins and outs of the head coaching position. I'm just the fan that just knows exactly what I see on the field and what we haven't seen for quite some time. Yeah, it's unfortunate that these guys came so close to beating Indiana. I mean, dude, that really would have solidified it. It really would have, I think, personally. I mean, you beat the number 2 team. I don't care if Indiana may not be like the most, what's the word? They have not pushed themselves to the next level. I mean, I don't think. But I'm saying that would have said, if they're talking about Indiana as being such a big school you have to beat, their number 2 team ranked. And if Terry would have beaten them, I think it would have been a done deal. Truly, because when you do something like that right there it's huge. It really does make a difference when you see guys do that. It makes something, at least having the chance to make some sort of impact. Because again, you know what the guy brings with his history, with his alma mater. Like, that's all they're really looking for. They want someone who's a traditional guy who will come in, do the same things as Penn State. And I feel like Terry has a good chance of doing that. Now, again, it's not like you can't create that as a new head coach, but I feel like that's really what it's all about. You got to have just as much showing that you have tradition in your blood as much as, the guy who's going to come in and try to push you to a national championship. That's really the last thing we have to prove as Penn State. We know that everyone wants to come and see games here. We know that everyone wants to come here and play at this school, but we still have yet to climb to that next level of actually showing we can do it. So I don't know who the next guy is going to be, but whoever it is needs to prove they can do that.
Yeah. So just commenting on Jopa 87114. He's one of your regular listeners, right, Mark? I think he is.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, in all due respect, to say Terry's not the guy because he couldn't. Terry didn't have one full year to even prepare.
He didn't have 11 years.
Come on, man. But what I'm saying is a new head coach, they usually bring in their own offensive coordinator. They handpick their own defensive coordinator. They have an offseason to install their out. I mean, this guy was thrown into the mix at the hardest time on the road versus Iowa with the backup quarterback, then on the road at Ohio State, with the backup quarterback. You got to give the guy a full year before you could make that assumption. Let's be a little realistic and be fair here. The one message board, I was talking to Bob Chesney a little bit, and some genius said, "No, I don't want Bob Chesney. He didn't beat any top 10 guy. Top 10. You, how many top 10 teams did he play? He do you know Bob Chesney's won every? Do you know in 15 years, you're judged on the level of talent you have versus you're playing against. It's not Penn State talent playing someone like whoever the Sun Belt plays, like Western Kentucky or whatever, right? It's JMU talent. Do you know in 15 years how many losing seasons Bob Chesney's had? Again, just a guess.
I think it's
one.
2.
He had one losing season in 15 years. The guy usually would be taking over programs that are doormats, that are down and out, and he completely turns around, wins championships with them. Like the stuff, a winner is a winner. Does that mean it's automatic he would come to Penn State if he was the guy and just light it up? No, but the guy owns a room. He has connections all through the JMU or DMV, excuse me. He I watched his press conference to James Madison when he got hired. He lived in Baltimore for 6 years. Maryland is a fertile recruiting ground. He now recruits the hell out of Virginia. Well, he really good contacts in Virginia with JMU. That's where JMU is. You know, he's from PA. Like, it's just, but anyways, it's just back to the point of, like, I don't know how anybody could talk about Terry not beating top 10 teams when the gig was just thrown at him with no time to prepare, or not an off season. Same thing with like, I mean, know. Let's use our heads.
I'll ask you guys if you agree with this. Saying Terry Smith, while Franklin was not a good was a good coach, he wasn't an elite coach. You don't fire a good coach to only hire another good coach. First of all, I don't know how you know that about Terry Smith. He's coached only so many games. Two, in my opinion, we haven't seen offensive efficiency. Now, obviously, under Franklin, we scored points, we won games. I have not seen this brand of football, common sense football, in 12 years. So to say he's a good coach, I don't know how you can say that. You don't know that about Terry Smith. So, I mean, Chris, would you agree with that? Like what we saw against Nebraska, we have not seen that in a long time.
No, it looked like an old school Penn State team. His players are up. Like I said, that was a different team. They're playing with aggression, you know, and they were executing on all cylinders. They look good. Like so many adjustments. It's just simple adjustments. Nick Singleton couldn't run the ball for crap this year. He was struggling. There's no question Katron Allen was better right out of the gate. Katron was averaging close to 7 yards a carry. Nick was averaging like 3. Yet Franklin kept having them split carries, which was ridiculous. I mean, that's a huge adjustment. You know, that should be common sense. Terry takes over. He feeds. He makes Katron the bell cow. Okay. And not only did he do that, but he also got Nick Singleton involved in other ways, using them in space more, and he found ways to free him up. Like you said, he simplified the offense. You know, Ethan Grunkemeyer is not a very big mobile quarterback, but if you give him some protection and give him some just basic reads, they were doing a little max protect. They're keeping the tight ends to block, giving them protection. That's simplifying things. These are things that James Franklin couldn't recognize. Jim Knowles, you know, defense sucks. It's not aggressive. It's, you know, it takes forever to learn. And Terry Smith, not James Franklin, Terry Smith being there when Manny was there, he wanted to he made Jim Knowles install some of Manny's prowler defense, which is a lot more aggressive, attacking the line of scrimmage more. Like, these are things that Terry Smith did in just a few games, being able to recognize what he needs to do, and he did them, where James Franklin just didn't. I've always said in the workplace, and this kind of goes against the grain a little bit, regardless of the job, experience is overrated. Everybody goes into a job, coaching, whatever. You're applying to be an accountant, a store business manager, whatever. You learn the job. You learn the roles of the job. The first few months, you're getting your feet wet. You learn the roles of the job. But once you got the basics down, your intuition, your work ethic, your know-how, that's what takes over. And I think that's what separates people in the workforce. And I believe that to be true in coaching as well. And that's what you see in Terry. He's just a better worker.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, someone just said Terry Smith is the best option. He checks all the boxes that Kraft wanted. Don't need the best coach, need the right coach. I mean, at this point, man, like, honestly, in my opinion, if you go with Terry Smith, what do you have to lose right now? If it doesn't work out down the line, we go get another guy. There's always going to be coaches out there. And between you and, you know, Chris, I don't think there's anybody out there that we could get right now that's like going to be, you know,
well, we don't know who the mystery guy is. I know how bad you want Terry Smith, but again, you don't know who the mystery guy is. Mark's doing everything he can to say Terry Smith's the top guy. But we don't know we don't know who the mystery guy is.
No, what I'm saying is Terry Smith what do you have to lose? But what I'm saying is right now, there's no one out. We don't. But who could it be out there? Even the mystery man. Who could it be like that would change this program for 30 years?
We're probably going to find out within a week or so. I don't know, but we're going to find out. Like I said, Kalen DeBoer. Okay, Mark, you're the head. You're Pat Kraft right now. You have a choice between Kalen DeBoer or Terry Smith. No guarantees about Terry Smith staying if you hire Kalen DeBoer. Who are you hiring between Kalen DeBoer and Terry Smith as head coach?
Terry Smith.
That should be a no-brainer, Kalen DeBoer immediately. But I'm just saying.
Yeah,
but you see, Terry Smith. You can't win because you just want Terry Smith, which is fine. I'm fine with him. But.
Well, if you gave me the choice between Bob Chesney and Terry Smith, I'd probably take Bob Chesney. You wouldn't take Kalen DeBoer over Terry, but you'd take Bob Chesney over Terry. Like I said, Chris, Kalen DeBoer is leaving Washington to go to Alabama. Then he's leaving Alabama to go to Penn State. This guy's like a bunny rabbit hopping around. I don't want a guy who's going to do that to Penn State. We don't hire and fire coaches. You hire a Bob Chesney. I am a Penn State, like Chris, where you don't hire and fire coaches. Bob Chesney, this is his first big job. He's not just going to hop around all over the country like Kalen DeBoer. That's why I don't want Kalen DeBoer.
That's a valid point.
That's a great point.
So, of course, he's a great coach, but dude, you're not going to use my school. Kalen DeBoer is not going to come here and use my school and leave. You know what I mean? I don't want that. So
what's funny about that though? That comment, and everybody seems to love this guy. That's exactly what Bill O'Brien did.
Who?
All Bill O'Brien did is use Penn State as a springboard to get to the NFL. That's all he did. Yet everybody views him like he was great.
Well, from what I heard, there was a lot of politics involved, and he didn't like it.
He didn't like recruiting.
But I don't think he came here. Honestly, he came in here at a time where I don't know if anyone would have. I don't know. I don't know. I just think that I mean, this is nothing what we're going through right now compared to that. So
right.
I
know, but I'm just saying it's still the same principle. He used Penn State to get to the NFL. I mean you could, like I said, Mark, you know me. I tell it like it is. I don't sugarcoat. I'm not a sunshine pumper. It's just funny how everybody, and I have no problem with Bill O'Brien. I'm just saying how everybody views him, but he knew what he's doing. If you don't think if anybody doesn't think that he was coming to Penn State with big brand head coach of this big time football team, I have a little success here, that will springboard me for a head coaching spot in the NFL. He knew what he was doing. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying, and yet he's viewed as that wasn't an issue.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I would agree with that, man. Like he did, because when he left, I remember it was I was like, you're leaving already? And he went to be a head coach in the NFL. It didn't work out for him. But, I guess that's what he did. He did use us, but he also did a good job. I think he did as good of a job as he could have done.
Yeah, he did do a good job. I'm just going off the principle what you're saying. And I get what you're saying. I don't want to go through this crap again. I don't want to go through this crap 3 years from now, man. I don't want to. This stuff. I mean, I've been late back to work at times for lunch just for keeping up with this coach search and everything that goes on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So try and check the score.
I'm going to start calling this the kitchen podcast because people have an issue with people being in kitchens while they're recording. Chris could be outside in his car, in a kitchen, on a mountain. I really don't care. Chris is going to come on here and talk, and so is Jared. So Jared's going to start wearing a kitchen apron. But I'll
wear a chef's hat. Thank you very much.
Okay, chef's hat. That works. But I mean, Chris, you do great work, man. You do great work. You come on here and talk. You do good. You do great work on the Big Ten huddle. I mean, it's at this point, man, like I'm not people. There's a lot of people out there that are like, I just want this to end. I want the head coach. I mean, for me personally, I'm not really like letting it. I don't know. It's not like stressing me out or anything.
Right.
You know, I'm anxious, but I mean, are you stressed out about it, Chris? I'm not. I'm really not like stressed out about it. There's nothing I can do.
Tired from it. I'm not stressed about it. It's just tiresome already. It's like, listen, staying on top of this stuff is exhausting. And what I mean by it is like just trying to work my connections, keep in touch with them, the tidbits they give me, trying to match it up with what's going on, like what other people are saying on the nationally, the message boards. It's exhausting, man. Yeah. It's just exhausting.
And this is what you do. This is your bread and butter.
That's what I do.
You do this stuff. So, and if you guys haven't watched Chris on Big Ten Huddle, like definitely do that. There was an episode you did, Chris. I think it was in August or July, and like everything you said was true. Like everything you said became true. You were like, yeah, look out for Chaz Coleman. Do this, do that, and literally everything. And I watched it. I rewatched it like I don't know the first time you and I talked. I forget when it was.
Yeah.
After Oregon, I think you and I first talked. Yeah. And I went back and watched it, and like literally everything you said was like true. So it's definitely way more stressful for you because this is what you do. This is, but
when you have a passion in stuff, you follow it. You get good at it when you have a passion at it. And what I really do, my real bread and butter is player evaluations. Like I love breaking down player evaluations for recruiting. I mean, Penn State obviously targets, and that's why the guy who ran Rivals brought me along to do player evaluations. It's funny because it's like not being a sunshine pumper. I think I shared this story. So when how we're in this close recruiting battle with Nick Singleton, back when Nick Singleton was this close to going to Notre Dame. Like he was all Notre Dame. And the last minute we flipped them. Everybody's jumping for like so excited. We got another one back. We got Nick. We weren't going to get him. Now we got him. So I did a breakdown of him. And I'm like, the guy's a hell of an athlete. He's explosive as could be. He's big, he's physical, he's explosive. I said, but he does have his one weakness. And I saw this in his high school film that nobody else did. I said, his one weakness is he doesn't have a jump cut. I said the word jump cut, and that's like infamous now. But what I meant was he doesn't have elusiveness to make guys miss. He doesn't have, just basic vision. He has the worst vision. He has the worst vision I've seen of any running back. And he doesn't have the vision to make, to just run to the opening like K-Tron, to see it and run to it and just make basic cuts, no wiggle to make a guy miss. And people jumped all over me. Like, how dare you say we just got the best running back? Like, they're jumping down my throat. Now these same people are like, I remember like 3 years ago, this guy mentioned not having a jump cut. Geez, he was right now. And I'm just laughing. I'm like, well, listen, you have a set of eyes, you watch. Deny Dennis Sutton when people were all jacked up about him. I think that Denny's a hell of a player, going to be an NFL player. You watch him enough, and I love breaking down DNs. I said, listen, great size, great hands. I said, but he is not explosive. Oh, Jesus. I just saw your message, Craig. So, but I said, deny Dennis Sutton, he doesn't have a bend. He's very stiff. And he's not he has a decent get off, but he doesn't have a very quick get off, and he gets too upright out of the shoe. So out of his stance, he's right up in the air and he's hand fighting, and he doesn't have the flexibility to have a good bend. He's not your typical explode around and bend around the edge guy. And people gave me shit for that. And now you read that about like these NFL scouts are saying the same thing. Like, he doesn't have a good bend. He's a little stiff. He's going to great, but I still say they're both great players. But that's my thing. I've really taken a passion to it. Nobody bats 100%. There's going to be some you get wrong. It happens. But that's my thing. That's what I really like.
Yeah.
So, Chris, let me throw something at you, bud. Let me say this real quick. So, with a guy like Ethan Grunkemeyer, and you see Terry Smith and what he has done for his career so far as a freshman, I'm going to run these numbers down to you, bud. For the Iowa game, Ethan's first game starting, he went 15 for 28, 2 interceptions. Probably cost them the game. But then the very next game against Ohio State, he increased with his passing. He got 145 yards, but he was 19 for 28 with 2 interceptions. Okay, that sounds better. Still at 2 interceptions. That's probably cost him. And then you hear what he did in Indiana. This right here just blows my mind. 219 yards, 22 for 31, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That seems to me like night and day. And then you see the game he played against Michigan State. He was 127 yards. He went a little down with his yardage, but only 8 passes caught. Only 8 for 13 in that game. 2 touchdown passes. I mean, that's huge. For him to finally have some confidence, regardless of it's the worst team in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And then he had the Nebraska game. 181 yards, 11 for 12 with a touchdown. No interceptions. Yep. So I'm curious, does that have anything to do with what Terry Smith and his coaching staff has provided with him in going over game planning? Or is that just something that Grunkemeyer is just a natural, can he just learn that on his own?
I think part of it was the coaching staff. Because like I said, I think they simplified things a little bit for him by protecting him better, keeping a tight end, 1 or 2 tight ends in to protect him better. I think the receivers started playing better. They were actually running routes to get open. They weren't just running down the field and turning around and making a basic cut. Like in their route, they were doing things like a quick fake this way, get the DB leaning, break the other way. I think it's a combination of things. But I do think Terry Smith, the way he simplified the offense and ran more of a spread up. See, with a guy like Grunkemeyer, it's the same thing with it was the same thing with Drew. They're a similar type of quarterback. Andy Kotelnicki's offense is so gadgety, and a lot of what Andy Kotelnicki does with all this window dressing and motion and different formations, a lot of what he does is to free up one receiver. It was just to free up one guy, and if it's not there, it's like, oh shit, now what? Okay. But what I saw the last few games was, even since the Indiana game, was more of a regular spread offense. He still tried to free up one guy here and there, but it was more of a regular spread offense where just not basic, but instead of just trying to free up one target, you're letting the quarterback drop back and go through his progressions and multiple reads. And you give that guy a little bit of time. He's got a big arm, and his mechanics are flawless. Like following him on the recruiting trail. And let me just say this. I don't know if people know this. We're very lucky that we even got Grunkemeyer. Grunkemeyer was a plan B guy at the last minute. Michael Van Buren, a little quarterback out of St. Francis, who's a pretty good quarterback, he was all Penn State. And that was a quarterback we're going with that class. I don't know if we had 2 quarterbacks that class, but that was a quarterback we're going with that class. And he went on a trip to Oregon right before he's going to commit. Oregon offered him all this money. He went verbal to Penn State, but he was going to change his mind, went to Oregon. We're left scrapping near the end, and we got Grunkemeyer. So we're lucky to get him. All on the camp circuit, the whole camp circuit. His mechanics in what's the guy's name? Charles Powers or whatever, the guy, the On3, the main scout from On3. He even said it. He's so consistent in his mechanics. Like it's always the same, and he has picture perfect mechanics. You know how you'd see Drew sometimes throw off his back foot, throw a little sidearm, and just be a little erratic? You don't see that with Grunkemeyer. His mechanics are flawless. Now, I do think there's also something to be said of while he's improved, I mean, let's be honest. His first game, he's on the road versus Iowa, one of the top defenses, a team that always has a great defense. And then his next game was on the road against Ohio State, who's probably the best defense in the country, who's killing it. You know, I mean, their defense has a ton of NIL guys all over the place. So, I mean, I do think it was a combination of just being thrown into the mix against the hardest possible situation, the hardest competition. Also, once things slowed down a little bit, we got better opponents, easier opponents, and they adjusted the offense a little bit. So I think it's a combination of things. But I've been big on Grunkemeyer from day one. I said when we got Grunkemeyer, and I watched film on him, enough film, and really got a good take, I said, I'm going to make a prediction. He's going to be better than Drew Allar. He's going to be better than Drew Allar. And, if we keep him, I think we all see he's, the guy's on the money. The guy can do a lot of things. And let's be honest, that 11 for 12, that should have been 12 for 12 because the incomplete pass was to Kyron Hudson in the end zone where they didn't throw the flag. It was pass interference.
Chris said it, guys. Chris has said it. He gave me the breakdown of Singleton. He gave me the breakdown of Drew. He was saying that before they even came here.
Feed. I got guys in there.
And then with Grunk, I said in week 2, and it's a figure of speech, but I said I'd rather lose with Grunk than win with Allar. I knew Grunk was better. I saw Allar in the first game while it was Nevada. I said, man, we left 4 touchdowns on the board. And then, oh my God. And again, for Allar, a lot of it is from the neck up. He could have used way better coaching. He was not set up for success here. But Ethan Grunkemeyer is a better quarterback. We have a new team right now. I keep saying it. We have a new team. Totally. I wanted a new coach and a new quarterback. Never want a kid to get hurt, but we got what I wanted, which is a new coach and a new quarterback. So I knew we had a better guy sitting on the bench.
Yep.
So, it is what it is, man. I mean, we're in a much better spot. I think we're going to beat up on Rutgers, and then we're going to go on and play in a bowl, and we're going to hopefully win. I mean, I don't see why. I don't want to look too much into the future, Chris. I don't think you do either, but I think we're going to beat up on Rutgers, and then we'll see what we do with where we go, who we play. But I believe in Terry Smith as our head coach right now. So,
yeah, I do too. Let me just, Mark, I just emailed you something. Could you put the link up that I emailed you? Could you just to show people, because when you're watching from home on TV and you see Drew holding the ball, looking downfield, and then he checks down or whatever, throws it away, everybody's just assuming, everybody was covered, wide receivers were covered. That wasn't always the case, believe me. The problem with Drew, besides having inconsistent mechanics, was he held the ball way too long. And he just held the ball too long. But here, I'll play it. Let me show you.
What did you send it to work with Lesko?
The link you emailed me is I replied to it and I sent it in that link.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Hold up.
Yeah, take your time.
Yep, that's the video you showed me. That's
show.
Yep. Yeah, it's a great breakdown. It's insane, man. Like the fact that people don't notice this, you noticed it. The fact that people don't notice it is crazy. And I didn't either. I didn't either. I'm one of those people that didn't notice it. Like it's crazy that you just don't even think.
There's Drew. Could you blow it up a little? Drew. Make it a little bigger so they can see it. Hold on. Come on. Come here.
Oh.
Dogs love me, man.
Oh,
yeah.
What's up, doggy? That's a big
So
dog.
for the people in the
That's a big
video,
dog.
if you'll see the guy, Amari streaking on the sidelines, the guy in the white jersey, number 5. What's up?
Come on.
Oh, I love video breakdowns.
That's my thing, man.
Yeah.
There's Drew.
That's pretty good. And just
Number
start it.
5.
Just do what you can. Just start it over.
Number
Drew's
15.
looking
See,
right
see
at
where
him.
I'm pointing?
Right at him, wide open. Pump fakes, says, nah, you're too open. Go somewhere else. There's Drew.
Yeah.
The
If you,
wording
number
is
5.
blocking it, but
Oh my
yeah. Can I turn that off? Hold on.
all I can tell you is there's nowhere near this guy. Drew wasn't under pressure, and the guy, and he, like, this is what I mean about
There's Drew.
you.
He's wide open. Wide open.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you have to see that, man. You have to see that. That was last year.
How
That was
could
last
you-
year in the Detroit Stadium.
How could
the
you not
Lions
throw
Stadium.
it? He always had this hesitation to him.
Yep.
Wow.
I emailed you one more. Play one more, and I can't. Well, I don't care if you have the words. I commentate on it.
Well, it might get me demonetized, but I don't care. I'm playing the content.
How?
If
It's
good
my
content.
stuff. I'm not gonna. Don't I have to
I
strike
don't
you? Like,
know. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. All right, hold on. I'll pull it up.
And I'm not
Yeah,
some
and
guy trying to.
And then you
make
did
it-
breakdowns of Singleton and his vision too, man. It's like, oh, good lord.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you that one too. It's incredible.
All
so
right.
just-
So,
Yeah, if you could make that a little bigger and just play it and just let it talk in the background.
well, okay, that should be
There you
good there.
That was good
Yeah.
enough. Watch it. But did you see how open
Drew
Amari
having
is?
hesitation problem. Get it out right now. Get it out. Wide open over the middle, and he hesitates to pull the trigger.
Hold on.
That was actually I had one in a
This is
slower
what I'm
motion.
talking. This is
I'm
what I'm.
freaking out there.
Ready? I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, that I was trying to show you a one in slower motion, but I guess it didn't work out.
Talking about Drew having hesitation problem. Get it out right now. Get it out.
Do you see
Wide
how
open
open?
over the middle, and he hesitates to pull the trigger.
That's Kyron Hudson who broke open. That's a touchdown. Did
That's
you see the
insane.
hesitation?
Absolutely.
Like, this is what people don't see. And these are things that I see. You want to see the Nick Singleton one? Here's what I mean about Nick's having horrible vision.
Nick Singleton's bad, man. Like, I don't mean a bad player. Like, the video you showed me, I'm like, holy crap.
Oh, listen, it's I don't know how. I don't know
Well,
how.
Chris,
I don't.
you
I've
can
never
agree
seen
that
anything this bad.
under Terry Smith, he's gotten better.
Go. I emailed you to Nick one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Terry, Nick Singleton is not a running back that could run between the tackles. Will he break one every now and then, have a good game? Sure. Nick Singleton's a guy you got to get into space where you could just use his speed. Because if he has to make a guy miss, forget about it.
You good, Jared?
Yeah, I'm good, bud. I just got to go to the bathroom real quick, bud. I'll be
Oh,
back.
go ahead.
You wait for Jared to get back to play this one.
Okay. But, yeah. Yeah. When you showed me that, man, because, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I am not an X's and O's guy, but you can still have basic vision of football. And, yeah. I mean,
and the thing with vision is, I think when you're a running back and you're running through a whole mesh of bodies, I just think I don't think it's a teachable thing. I think it's more of a natural instinct. It's just a natural instinct. Yeah. Anticipate the tackles, anticipate the defenders coming at you, where the blocks are going, and just cut to the opening.
Yeah, dude, the whole. But here's the thing. I think you could agree on this, Chris, that since Nick has, or since Terry's taken over, Nick is.
Yes, he
Holy
found
crap,
a
man.
way because he's using them differently.
Yes.
First of all, the team's more motivated. They're blocking better, but he's getting hit. I just think he's getting them in space and finding ways to free them up more.
Well,
All right.
What do you see? Like, tell me. I mean, listen, a JV kid would see this and make this touchdown. A freshman running back would see this and score here.
Now, before you start, just one question. What year is he at this point?
senior.
It's a year or two back.
Okay.
Oh.
They're all over the map, different years.
Okay.
Hold on. Where's the volume?
No, I didn't say break it, but that's what I mean.
Where's the volume?
Yeah, you got to play it from the beginning too. So
Hold on. The volume was on this.
holy shit, it's definitely not that.
We so deep on the nut of me, so of course I'm with the game.
All right, yeah, I don't know what that was. Sorry. Hold on. Dude, I hate technology, man. Seriously.
That's why I haven't gotten full tilt into it because I don't have the patience.
Technology literally will anger me more than anything because when it doesn't work, man, it just it does mysterious things.
Tell about Nick Singleton's vision and instincts are. How do you not see this giant opening to cut to the left? He doesn't see it or take it. Instead, just lowers his head right into the defender.
Do you see that opening?
His vision and instincts
Bro.
are. How do you not see this giant opening to cut to the left? He doesn't see it or take it. Instead,
I saw this in high school.
First of all, right here alone, you should see that the hole is opening up.
He didn't
lowers his
even
head.
look. He didn't even make an attempt. See where his vision is? There's no peripheral vision. It's just tunnel vision. He's very quick to lower his head.
And even if this kid, the kid, even if this kid here, who we playing? Who was it?
Is it Northwestern? It looks it.
No, it's
okay.
I don't know who it was, but this kid right here. Okay,
Look
even
at
at
this.
the beginning,
Look at this. I think it might have been. I don't remember.
Right into
But
the
Duke left, bro. He's gone.
Tell
Like,
about Nick Singleton's
Rutgers,
vision
it
and
says
instincts are.
Rutgers.
How do you not see this giant opening
It's
to
so
cut to
bad.
the left? He doesn't see it or take it. Instead,
But Chris, are you good on that one?
yeah. It's just what I want to. I mean, you guys get to see it. That's all.
So, if you're a head coach of a college football program and you're recruiting him, do you not see that or do you not care? Because his freshman year he was fine, and then he got worse. He got way worse.
Well, he was the number one back in the country, and the guy, he was still a hell of a talent. Like I said, I mean, big, physical, super explosive. In high school, Franklin's not going to see that. I mean, you're still going to make him an offer. There's still going to be a ton of teams that want him. In high school, a lot of his plays where he's like halfback dive, or like these quarterback dive deep pitches. It was a deep pitch where you'd get a pitch wide, just run around the corner and beat people in the foot race. If it was up the middle, it was just full steam ahead like you saw. Every now and then, he'd make a cut. I'm not saying he doesn't cut at all. But I remember watching this guy, and I'm like, everything is just winning in a foot race. And I know in a lot of blocking schemes, I'm no professional O-line expert, but I know in a lot of blocking schemes, I mean, I've heard this going back for years, that usually the running back is responsible to make the first defender miss. I said, he's not doing that. I said, he doesn't have that quick jump cut, just that vision, any wiggle he doesn't have that. And, it was just easy to see. I would watch his running back film as the number one back in the country, and I would then watch other film of other running backs, just compare where they're at, of other running back recruits, and he didn't have the vision like other backs. You don't have to be super elusive. Just have the vision to make the right cut. all it
And
was.
Chris, here's another thing too. And you said this several times, not only in texts and calls, but on air. Kyron Hudson, for a while, was giving like no effort on routes. Ohio State game, for example, Landon Tangle was breaking it down. He's like, what is going on with these routes? These routes are horrendous. First of all, they weren't schemed well at all, and they weren't doing them right, and they weren't giving effort. And you've been saying, play the younger guys. So why did it take Terry Smith so long to make those adjustments like that?
I don't know. That's one thing. Like I said, I got it. And even now, like, he's winning, so it's hard to criticize him. But even now, he's putting Kobe Howard in, but he's only giving him like 1 or 2 targets a game. That's it. And why Denmark isn't playing is crazy.
It's hard to criticize him. You can criticize him as much as you want. That's what this show is for. So you can say whatever you want.
No, I'm just saying, if you're winning, it's hard to,
Right. But
I emailed you another one. I got a question about this other one.
But here's the thing. You had, like, for those of you guys that are all on Terry, I get it. I'm right there with you. But here's the thing. You have to ask yourself some questions. There's stuff, too, that he has not done well enough. Like clock management, man. Indiana.
It was horrible. Indiana was horrible.
And here's the thing. Obviously, we respect and love Joe Paterno. But, dude, Joe Paterno offenses for a while, oh, my God. They were so boring. They were so conservative. I mean, there's some stuff that Joe did, too, that you're like, this is boring football. I mean, so, you know what I'm saying, Chris?
Play the other one. I said, I have a question about this other one.
Okay.
You tell me on this. Now, listen, this was like, I don't know. I think this is like Delaware they're playing. I think it was Delaware. It wasn't. They looked like Michigan, but it wasn't Michigan. It was Delaware. And I remember this game. They said, we're going to work on Drew getting the ball downfield more. Now, wait till you see this and make it big like you can. And just let it play. You could play the volume. You could enlarge it. You tell me if Ethan Grunkemeyer makes this play.
Frustrating. You have a receiver at the bottom of the screen, a receiver at the top of the screen. They both do a post. They both break wide open. Where Drew
Mark, pause it for 1
does
second.
not throw to eat.
The receiver at the bottom of the screen is not the guy you see. I don't know. Could you enlarge it anymore? The receiver at the bottom of the screen is faded out. Don't, like, if you hit the enlarge, it doesn't get bigger, or is that as big as you make it? It's not the big tight end you see. There's actually another receiver at the bottom of the screen. You'll see him eventually when he breaks open.
Wait,
I'm just saying that's not.
Does it show on you? Does it show on your screen?
Isn't the receiver you see?
Yeah, it shows on our screen.
But Chris, because I can't make it. It's not letting you make it small.
You just. All right, that's all right. Just play and listen. We'll see it. Just stop that shit from whatever the hell that is. Sorry, I get excited. Just play it. If you can't get any bigger, it's fine.
There's number 1, Lambert Smith, top of the screen. I don't know if that's Cephas or Wallace, but both of them. Imagine being a receiver, busting your butt to get open. There you are. Boom. There's Drew. He could fit that ball in there. He has the arm talent. That is a basic Division I throw that a quarterback could make. He's not under too much pressure. And he just, look at how open these guys are. And what does he do? He checks down. He could fit that ball in there. That is not a hard pass.
Now, would Ethan Grunkemeyer throw to either one of those guys? Yes.
Remember that when people say the Penn State receivers don't get open.
Yeah, so.
But that was it. If you want, he checked down on that. He had 2 and checked down.
So, Chris, I remember that game. It was last year, right? Yeah, last year. And I was texting Brett. I'm like, dude, this game is pissing me off. Like, we're not playing well enough. He's like, we're up 56-0. I'm like, I don't care. We should be up 80-0. Like, that game made me so mad, man, because we were not moving the ball well enough at all. And it was Delaware. I mean, oh my God, man, it made me so mad. Like, that's the stuff that was so frustrating with stuff like this. It's so frustrating, man, that we could not be better on offense. That's why Nebraska was so like, I'm like, holy hallelujah, dude. Like, we're actually moving the damn ball. Like, holy crap.
I mean, he
It's
had
insane.
2 guys there. He had 2 guys that were
It's insane.
like open by a mile there. I mean, that is a basic on-field throw. He had 2 guys doing a post that were wide open, where a big-time quarterback like that is supposed to layer the ball in, and he just didn't do it. Here's what was frustrating to me that year when you had guys like Lambert Smith and Wallace, and it was, what did everybody say? Who did everybody blame? Oh, the receivers. The receivers can't get open. Remember that? Well,
Yep, they
I
blamed all
think
the
that's
receivers.
proof. Yeah, I think that's proof that, the receivers are worse now than they've been the past 3-4 years. Harrison Wallace, Lambert Smith were both better than the guys. They were, listen, you had 2 guys that were running. They're both 6'1". Lambert Smith ran a 4.38. Wallace is a low 4.4 guy. You see how good Ole Miss is. Harrison Wallace leads Ole Miss in receiving. He's one of the top receivers in the SEC, and they spread the ball around. And, it just, I'm not saying the receivers got open every play, but this narrative of receivers back then never getting open, people just didn't want to recognize that it was, a large part of that was Drew. We're not talking about a small little window that's a risky throw. We're talking, this is against Delaware, where you're going to kill them or you are killing them. You have 2 receivers open by a mile, and he still was so conservative he wouldn't get the ball downfield. But again, if you're watching that from home, I mean during the game, if you're watching that from home, you don't see that overhead view. You see Drew looking, and checking down, and then what are people from home saying? Oh, we're not getting receivers open again. We still can't get the ball downfield. Receivers aren't getting open.
So,
there's proof.
Chris, our receivers right now, between Pena, Hudson, and Ross, they were all conference in their respective conferences last year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Hudson.
So
Hudson wasn't. Hudson sucked.
Okay.
Ross and Pena were.
So if you're a receiver right now, and James Franklin was still here, James Franklin brought these 3 receivers in because we didn't have any receivers, and they've all regressed. So it's like, if James Franklin's still here, how on God's green earth would you ever come to Penn State and play for James Franklin when this is the stuff that happens? You Virginia Tech fans are so cooked. I don't even know how to explain it to you. You're so cooked. I think he just went out and said, hey, let's go get these guys because they did this, and this at a different school. It's insane. And then he just kept Drew Allar in there. Bo Prabula should be at Penn State right now. I'm okay with Grunk, but for the love of the good Lord, Bo Prabula, man, a running quarterback like Trace McSorley, that's who should be here right now. But we kept Drew Allar. It's crazy. The level of incompetence with that guy, it's insane. I
think to make full circle moment with our head topic here, I feel like our new head coach should not have these issues going into it. The hiring has to be so crucial about who's coming in here to not make these mistakes again. I'm sorry. I understand that you have to give the focus on the 5-star recruits like Allar. I understand that. But if your 5-star player is not playing like one, you need to realize that you need to adjust and or redirect. I'm sorry. If you want to win games and you saw what he was doing on that field for all those years and you never decided to go off of it just because of his 5-star status, that is on coaching. That is their responsibility to want to win the game that is on the field in the moment. That's got to be said. I just feel like that's got to be where their mindset is right now. It's not a question of, can we win a national championship? Can we just play football again?
Stars aren't supposed to matter once you're on the team.
It doesn't matter.
Stars
And
are
to
supposed to be
Franklin, they
swiped away.
mattered immensely. It's like, oh, we got a 5-star quarterback out there.
So,
Okay, well, he's not playing well.
So just to like piggyback off of the chef in the middle, what he was saying, joke. But anyways, Connor Weigman was a 5-star quarterback in Drew's class, the 2022 class. He was like number 2, 3 quarterback in the country, 5-star, just as big in heralded as Drew was. Okay, he went to Texas A&M, committed to them. All right. He didn't start his freshman year. I don't think he started. I think they still had Haynes King then, but he eventually came in and got a lot of playing time. And it wasn't working out. He had some talent, but he, wasn't like working out. I think year 2, I don't know if it was year 2 he transferred out, but I think he was there for his second year, and it just wasn't, you could tell something he wasn't quite as good. Mike Elko had no problem benching him and putting Marcel Reed in. No problem at all. And Marcel Reed is now a Heisman finalist. So there you go. But Mark disappeared.
He did disappear.
Guys, I'm in a roll. I've had we could call it a night. It's been a long night.
Chris.
Anyways, I got to go check what's going on here with these picks. But guys, have a good night. Hopefully next week sometime we'll know. Take care.
All right, Chris. Thanks, man.
Chris.
See ya.
Have a Thanksgiving, bud.
Yeah, his delay. He had a delay, but it wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad.
I don't think, but yeah, that's why when I started this, I was like, I need to make sure I have an abundance of internet. I need more internet than I probably need, just in case. Because you just don't know. But Jared, do you have anything else to say about this? I mean,
well, I've covered everything I can think of too.
Based off what he said, man, it's like the mystery guy or Terry. I mean, that's crazy. But I held up Phenomenal Brew's comment. Franklin is a clown. He's running the circus. Yeah. But Phenomenal Brew said Bob Chesney already has the job. It's a done deal. So, and I'm just going off of what, again, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So, yep. All right. Well, but yeah, Jared, are you good? Do you have anything else to say?
Bud. Honestly, I think that the most important part of this, again, is that whoever we get, we just already made that point. Just don't make the mistakes that Franklin made. Just don't ever go into the season. Don't ever try to have a recruiting class. Don't have anybody say that, just because he thinks he has the insight, or his recruits or his coordinators, that it's ridiculous. Like, you've seen what it's looked like with Terry Smith on the field. It's a totally different game when the guy actually lets the players who are supposed to do something with what the talent they are given, that they look better. They just look better when you let them play the game the way they know how, and not something you can draw up and think that it's the way to go. Like, just whoever it is, make sure that you know how to adjust to that and bring that to Penn State.
Jared, you didn't record any episodes this week, right?
I could not, dude. This is the best I have sounded all week.
All right, yeah, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure I didn't miss them. But nope. Real quick, Jared, before you jump off, the channel hit 1,000 subs, and that's a milestone that that I personally wanted to hit since I started. And I played that first video earlier, played the first video, and that was February 23rd of 2022. And that's when we were talking about the TV rights deals for the Big Ten, and what we see now, which is Fox at noon NBC at night and then CBS in the afternoon. That's what we see now.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about at the time. And we were signing a deal with Fox, or I can't remember, but we didn't start out. I was not a former player. I'm not famous. You have to build a channel, man. Like it takes time. So hitting this is now, that's a milestone that I was trying to get to. And I was going to let you kind of speak on that a little bit. I wanted you to speak on that a little bit. And, Jared, I've known Jared. Jared was you were a counselor at Bible school.
Yes, sir.
That's where we met. And
Yes,
I was
sir.
how old?
Hugh would have been.
Well, you met Ben first.
I think
you met my brother first.
Yes, because it was one of those gigs where I wanted to do something for my community, and I decided to go down to the church that I went to as a kid, and this group of kids, I was like, yes, sign me up with these guys. They look like fun. And I had actually, through the years, I stayed with that group. Like, I think I started second grade, and they graduated like all the way to sixth grade. They go from kindergarten to sixth grade at my church. And I think I started at second grade, went with them until sixth. And they've never let anyone do that. And I was like, I just think that would be a cool way to start the journey with these kids, like knowing them and how they've grown. And I think it was around the second year when he was in fourth grade, I think I met you, where the families started coming together. And, Ben said, hey, this is my brother, Mark. I met you, dude. Dude, folks, you have to understand. You see how big Mark looks? When I first met the guy, he was about this big. Like, he was like the scrawniest guy. He always had tank shirts. He always liked wearing the stuff that exposed your arms. He always wore those shirts. Sorry, bud. But no, so yeah, it was like he weighed about 102 pounds. Like when I first met him, I think you would have been, gosh, that would have been 2004. You would have been 9 or 10.
I would have been 12.
Wait, what year were you born?
11. I would have been 11, 12. Yeah, 11, 12. Yeah.
Yeah, so 93. Yeah, so you'd have been 11 years old. Good God. I can't do math anyway.
I was 92.
Oh, you're 92. So you would have been either 11 or 12. Yeah. So, yeah. And I remember, I think we bonded over Pittsburgh because I think we mentioned something about, I like Pittsburgh. And you're like, oh, I love the Steelers. You're watching Big Ben. And you were like all excited for Big Ben. And we started talking about Steelers stuff. And every year I was always seeing you picking up Ben, and we'd always be like, you think those Steelers are doing something this year? I mean, they were good look, and they were going to the Super Bowl the next year, and you and I were really pumped about it. So, yeah, we started having a little bit of a interaction, and you started going to Bald Eagle when I started going, like, I think it was 10th or 11th grade, and you got in at 7th. And, yeah, we started seeing each other in the hallways, and we started continuing that. And now it's been over 20 years now. It's like, yeah, man, it's a crazy, crazy, amazing circle of life kind of thing. So, yeah, knowing the fact that Mark reached out to me, I want to say this was summer of 23 when you were getting going with your podcast.
Yeah, so
you wanted to branch out.
I would see your stuff on Facebook. You were doing breakdowns on Facebook just because you love to do it. And I'm like, Jared should be giving himself an opportunity to be monetized for this type of stuff. No, and that's not why you did it, but I was like,
right,
Jared should be on a show, so.
Yeah, I had a lot of anger because, again, I was always talking about how much I just could not stand how Tomlin would play that team. And, yeah, you very much were like, hey, talk to me, man. And we were like, I want to do Penn State stuff, and I want to branch out to Pittsburgh. And you said, come on for my show, and we created Steelers Central. And, yeah, we had a good run. And but it's just last year, you were saying, try and do your own show. And I was like, give me a chance to really build something. And by the summer, I started covering your Pittsburgh stuff for you, bud. And the fact that you started, when I first came on, what was that? Fall of 2023, you had like 420. Maybe. And just last year, You were at like 6, maybe 6'10". Ever since Penn State started having their losing problems, you blew up, dude. And the fact that you're now 1,000 because of all the things that have occurred, man, that's a testament to letting everyone show that this guy is passionate about the Penn State community and just everything that you go through with it, bud. It's just a testament to how much they know that you want this. And I'm very honored to be a part of it. I'm honored.
Yeah. Thanks, Jared.
Yeah.
I was telling my parents, I said, you and Brett and Jared, you guys know, what, and again, I'm not trying to sound boastful at all. That's not what I'm saying, what I'm trying to do. You guys know how hard I've worked on this, you guys know, because you're close to me.
Right.
You guys know how many hours every day that I put into it, so to get to 1,000, that's a milestone, and it's not easy to get to that point. Yeah. But when I said, Jared, about you, do you remember what I said to you when I said, I want you to do it on your own show?
Refresh me.
So we were at work.
Yes.
And I said, Jared, I want you to do your own show because I want to focus mainly on Penn State. I said, I know you can do it. And I had asked you a few times, and you were hesitant for months to do it on your own. From what I remember, like a couple months, like you were hesitant. And I said, Jared, I started this podcast. I said, I'm a leader. And what I'm trying to do is put you in the best position for yourself. And that's why I wanted to give you your own show, because I knew you would do it more on your own, more than I could come on with you, because I didn't have the time or the desire, because I'm not the Steelers just make me angry. The Pirates, they're horrible. Penguins, that's just stuff I don't really have the desire to talk about. I love the Steelers, but I love Penn State way more.
Right.
I just said that I want you to do this on your own, because that's going to be your own show, and it's yours to do whatever with. And you did. You and then later on that day, you came up and said, I'm going to do it. And I said, all right. And you have again, diehard fan. That's what I am. It comes from the heart. Right. That's the way you are with Pittsburgh. And you're a diehard Penn State fan too, man. But you are just diehard Pittsburgh. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's what you love, and you talk about the Pirates willingly every week. I mean, that's insane that you still talk about the Pirates week to week. That means you love the Pirates. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like talking Sacramento Kings basketball. Like, who would ever talk about that? But there's people that do. You know what I mean? Like,
true. And
the Pirates probably worse, but you have a passion for it. It comes from the heart, and that's what you would not be. You're not. No one's coming on here unless they are passionate about what this subject is.
Right.
Joe Crispin, Tyler Smith, Jared, Chris, Brett, Austin was on here.
Yep.
Rob Oshinsky, Jeff Brown. These guys are all passionate about what they do, but the common theme is they're passionate about the teams that we like. We're never talking the Eagles on here. I hate the Eagles. We're never talking like if someone said, hey, I want to talk the Eagles, can I come on? No. And don't ask me again. So it's just, you have to love it. You can't fake that. And that's what you are. And that's why I'm having you on here, because that's who you are. And that's the way you are with Pittsburgh. So yeah, now you have your own show on here. It's literally your thing, man. And you do great. You're very well spoken. You talk and you don't use a lot of filler words. I still use filler words. You don't use a lot of filler words. You would be good on radio too.
Listen,
But
I can only do with what I've got, dude. And I try my darndest to find the right way to say things, because again, it's very important to never ever sound like inconsistent or rambly. Like, it's not easy doing this.
No.
You've got to be prepared for it. And I believe me, I try my darndest to prepare myself week in and week out. And I want to say this, my friend, Mark, just be careful, my friend, because you know that with Penn State, there's a lot of Phillies fans. There's a lot of Philadelphia people. I love my Pittsburgh Steelers, but I gotta know also, if I'm Penn State guy, I know that they love the Eagles more. I know this. I'm not saying you can't have Penn State and Pittsburgh fans, but I'm saying it's probably a bigger, ratio of Eagles than Steelers.
So one thing that I do, the passion that the Eagles fans have is insane. Like, I think it's hilarious. It's good in a good way. I think you guys are nuts. And I mean it totally as a compliment. And then I remember, I'm like, because I'll be watching Eagles games sometimes, and I'm like, all these insane fans, like, they are so dedicated to the Eagles. It's insane. And the Phillies, like, they are so immersed in their team.
Yeah.
And then when I'm watching the Eagles game or something, I look up in the stands, they're showing the crowd. I'm like, most of them are Penn State fans. And that's awesome. So I'm like, we got these psychos on our side too. So let's go. Throwing snowballs at Santa.
Never gonna let that down. Never.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, man, we got it. We're there. And even if that's a great way to end. Yes, he was a fraud. We'll be rooting for Franklin to fail. I don't know how long you've been watching this show, but Jared can attest. I've been saying fire Franklin before this podcast even started. So,
I mean, you've been calling him a used car salesman. You've used every metaphor you can think of for what he has done for that.
It's insane, man. Like, I knew that he just wasn't it. You could tell. But lots of people, they always had an excuse for him. And I'm just like, you guys, like, you're not seeing it. And Jared, I think you saw it the same way I did. You know what I mean? Like, you were just like, for example, like when we came on after Oregon last year, it was me, you, and Brett. And Brett and I, we were like, I don't remember. We were like yelling at each other. But he said, we don't have receivers. And I said, it's an excuse, man. It's BS. We see it this year. And Brett wasn't like Brett. I'm not saying Brett's take was bad or wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I disagreed with him. And then we have receivers this year, supposedly. And what happened? And when we would have those conversations, Jared, you were always like, we saw things the same way. I mean, it's just like, but the fact that he's gone now is good. But we just got to get into the next step. And I'm anxious. I'm not like, like I said, I'm not stressed out. I'm anxious, but it's just, I just hope it's done the right way. No matter what happens, it's done the right way. And Terry Smith is shown respect, and that's it, So, Jared's frozen. I think his phone died. But all right, guys. I think that'll be it for the night. How do I kick him out? Nope. Wrong one. Why isn't it letting me kick him out? That's weird.
Did I lose you?
Wait, you still there, Jared?
I'm still here. Yeah, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay.
Did you join from StreamYard? Like, you didn't use the link?
No, I was connected to my phone. I think it just kicked me off. I think I used up my my hotspot. So now I'm back on my regular.
Because when you were frozen, I thought your phone died, and I was going to kick you out, but wouldn't let me. So did you come in through StreamYard or the link?
I came through StreamYard.
Okay, yeah, like I did, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why. I was just curious.
Okay.
So Jared just came back like Frosty. Jared's like the football season. We were frozen, we were a little blurry, and now we're clear again. So, all right, guys, have a good night. Thank you for tuning in. This is like my 8th hour of content since last night. So, I'm gonna try to sleep.
Once again, bud, once they finally announce it, you can finally go to rest.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. All right. Sorry for sending so many chats, dude. You're good, man.
Yeah.
You're good. You guys comment in the box below after we're off. So just keep commenting. I'll answer you there. Thank you guys for the comments. Thank you for the support, the engagement. Seriously, we greatly appreciate it.
Yes,
please
absolutely.
like, share, subscribe. Help us build on this 1,000. And we will see you guys at least for post game Saturday. I'll probably be on tomorrow again for who knows what. But all right, guys. See ya.